Bibliographies of Marshal Konstantin Rokossovsky, a commander who fought successfully in defense and attack. Twice, hero of the Soviet Union Konstantin Rokossovsky is one of the most outstanding Soviet commanders of the Great Patriotic Wars and the only marshals of two countries at once, the Soviet Union and the Polish People's Republic. On June 24, 1945, Rokossovsky commanded the Victory Parade in Moscow. Lenta tales about the military leader combat path. The future famous commander was born according to some sources on December 21, 1896, according to others, on September 15, 1889. According to some sources, this happened in the city of Waliki Luki in the Kurs province, according to others in Warsaw, according to others in the village of Telekne, now the Brest regions of Belarus. His father, Sari Joseph Rokossovsky, come from a Polish noble family and worked as an inspector on the Warsaw-Vienna railways. His mother, Antonia Ivanova Oksanikova, had a teacher diploma and devoted herself to raising children. The Rokossovsky family spoke Polish and Russian. Having lost his parents early, Konstantin graduated from a 4-year city school in Warsaw, after which he tried several professions. He worked as a pastry chef assistant, a dentist assistant, a laborer in hosiery factory, and a stone mason. Since childhood, he was fascinated by books about war. He wanted to experience it all himself. Participation in the First World War and Civil War. Therefore, in August 1914, with the outbreak of World War I, young Rokossovsky volunteered for the 5th Dragoon Kargopol Regiment of the 5th Cavalry Division, after which he took part in battle on the southwestern and western front, rising to the rank of junior non-commissioned officers on April 11, 1917. He was awarded the St. George Cross of the 4th degree and 3 St. George medals. After the October Revolution of 1917, Rokossovsky first became a private soldier and then assistant commander of Kargopol Red Guard Cavalry Detachment. In August 1918, he transferred to the Red Army. During Civil War, he commanded a squadron, a separated division, and then a cavalry regiment. Since not everyone pronounced his patronymic correctly, Rokossovsky, having joined the rank of the Red Army, became Konstantin Konstantinovich. In battle with the White Guard, he was wounded twice. He received one of the wounds in a fight with the commander of the 15th Ohm Siberian Rifle Division in Cossack Army, Major General Nikolai Voznesensky. Rokossovsky recalled, during a duel with the commander of Ohm's group, General Voznesensky, I received a bullet in his shoulder from him, and he received a fatal blow with me with a saber. In 1921 and 1922, Rokossovsky commanded a cavalry brigade in the 5th Cuban Cavalry Division. In connection with the reorganization of the unit into a brigade, he was appointed regiment commander in October 1922. Rokossovsky's service report noted, has a strong will, is energetic and decisive, has dashing cool-headed personality, is self-possessed, capable of showing useful initiative, has a good grasp of the situation, is smart, demanding of his subordinate, as well as of himself, love military affair. In 1923 to 1924, he took part in battle Trans-Baikal with White Guard unit, penetrating the territory of the USSR. In one of the skirmishes, he wounded Major General First Myknikov, who was soon arrested and shot. marriage and studying course. On April 13, 1923, Rokossovsky married Petrona Barmina. She lived on June 17, 1925. The couple had daughter Aliadna. In September 1924, the promising regiment commander was sent to study in Leningrad at the High Cavalry School, which was soon renamed the Cavalry Advanced Training Course for Command Personnel. There, Rokossovsky met future famous Soviet military leader Gorky Zhukov, Ivan Bagramyan, Andrew Ermenko. After graduating from the cavalry course in 1925, Rokossovsky served in Mongolia as an instructor in the separate Mongolian Cavalry Division from 1926 to 1928. After that, he became the commander of the 5th Separate Cuban Cavalry Brigade, war with Chinese and served as a division commander. In April 1929, Rokossovsky attended advanced training course for senior command staff at the MV France Military Academy. France Military Academy was named after the commander Mikhail Franz in Russia's Civil War. That same year, he took part in battle with Chinese troops on the Chinese Eastern Railway. The soldier of his cavalry brigade occupied the Chinese city of Jalino and the Manchuria railway station. In 1930 to 1932, Rokossovsky became commander of 7th Samara Cavalry Division in the Belarusian military district. One of the brigade commanders, the division, was his recent classmate Gorky Zhukov. Zhukov recalled Rokossovsky. He treated me with a great tact. In turn, I high value his military erudition, extensive experience in managing combat training and educating personnel. In 1932 to 1936, Rokossovsky again served in Transbaikal, commanding in the 15th Separate Cavalry Division from May 1936. With the ranks of division commander, he was appointed commander of the 5th Cavalry Corps in the Leningrad military district. Alice and Lilies. During the Great Terror in July 1937, the military leader was expelled from the rank of all Union Communist Party Bolshevik, dismissed from the Red Army, arrested in August, and on charge of having linked with the Polish and Japanese intelligence services, held in internal prison of the NKVD in Leningrad from 1937 to 1940, being subjected to beating and abuse. At the request of the USSR People Commissars of Defense Marshal Semyon Timoshenko, Rokossovsky was released from prison on March 22, 1940. On June 4, 1940, he was awarded the ranks of Major General, and in November of the same year, he was appointed commander of Mechanized Corps as part of the Kiev Special Military District. I have read some article that said Rokossovsky was released after the first Soviet-Finnish war because Soviet army has lacks of capable military officer. So that's why Stalin released him. And yeah, Rokossovsky participation in Great Patriotic War. From the first minute of the Great Patriotic War, Rokossovsky showed himself to be an independent and competent commander, taking an active part with his corps in the border tanks battles of Southwestern Front in Dubno-Lodz region at the end of June 1941. Bagramyan, who was at the time the chief of the operational department of the headquarters of the Southwestern Front, noted his so-called motorized division could only move on foot. The decisive and proactive corps commander on the very first days of the war, at his own risk and peril, took out the vehicles about 200 from the district, reserved in Chapetogua, put the infantry stem and moved ahead of the corps in a combined march. The approach of his unit to the Lux region saved the situation. They stopped the enemy tanks that had broken through and thus provided significant assistance to the unit retreating in difficult circumstances. In the condition of rapid German offensive, Rokossovsky decisive suppressed panic among the soldier and commander who has lost their unit. One colonel irritated the military commander by reporting indifferently and at the same time with an impudent challenge. Rokossovsky recalled, "His appearance and tone literally blew me away. I grabbed my pistol and was ready to shoot him right there on the spot." The apathy and bravado instantly left the colonel. Realizing how this could end, he fell to his knee and began to beg for mercy, swearing that he would atone for his shame with blood. Of course, the scene was not present, but that how it happened. In mid-July 1941, Rokossovsky was transferred to the Western Front, where the situation has become even more threatening. The general commanded an army group near Yastevo, which prevented the Wehrmacht from encircling the Soviet army fighting near Smolensk. On August 10, 1941. The army group was reorganized into 16th Army, which was headed by Rokossovsky. At the head of the formation with the ranks of Lieutenant General, he entered the Battle of Moscow. On October 5th, the commander of Western Front, Colonel General Ivan Konev, gave Rokossovsky a written order surrender the defensive zone to the nearby 20th Army of Lieutenant General Philip Urshakov, and himself, together with the headquarters of 16th Army alive in Vesna, received 5 rifle divisions at his disposal and delayed the German advancing from the sparse Donetsk regions. Having carried out the order, Rokossovsky arrived in Yashma on October 6, but did not find the promised division there. Meanwhile, advanced German units began to enter the city. The general realized that he had to retreat to the east, and as in July near Yasevo, subjugate all retreating Soviet units along the way. The decision saved Rokossovsky and his staff officer. On the morning of October 7. The German tank pincer crossed swarming the Vyazma pocket. About 1 million people were surrounded in Vyazma direction. Zhukov was appointed commander of the Western Front, and Rokossovsky was assigned to cover the maintained direction of the general attacks on Moscow. Volkolems. Marshal of Artillery Vasily Kazakov recalled, Konstantin Rokossovsky possessed valuable quality that had a huge influence on those around him. He was unusually simple and genuinely modest, sensitive, and fair. A man of high culture, he knew how to potentially listen to everyone immediately, highlight the main idea in the interlocutor judgment, and use it in the interest of the case. This approach inspired his subordinates. It is no coincidence that many famous military leaders emerged from the 16th Army. Ivan Panfilov, Lev Dovatov, Afanasy Belobolodov, Mikhail Katukov. The victory near Moscow made Rokossovsky himself famous throughout the nation. Personal life and injury. During this period, in a field hospital at the army headquarters, he met a military doctor, second rank Galina Vasilievna Taranova, who gave birth to a daughter, Nadezhda, in 1945. Rokossovsky did not leave the family, but gave the girl his last name and took care of her in every possible way. On March 8, 1942, in the city of Sukhinishi, the military leader was seriously wounded by shell fragment and was treated in a hospital until May 28 of that year. In July 1942, Rokossovsky was appointed commander of the Bench Front, and from September, the Don Front. General Nikolai Antipenko noted, "Each of us sincerely valued the authority of our commander. Rokossovsky was not feared at the front. He was loved in the position of front commander. Under command of the commander of the army Don Front, together with the unit of Southwestern Stalingrad Front, they broke through the enemy defense, encircling the German Romanian group with a total of 130,000 people near Stalingrad in November 1942. It was Rokossovsky who became a colonel general on January 15, 1943, who was tasked by the chairman of the USSR State Defense Committee, Joseph Stalin, with the liquidation of the Sixth Field Army of Field Marshal Frederick Paulus, which had surrendered to the fighter of the Don Front. From February 1943, Rokossovsky commanded the troops of the Central Front, which took part in the Battle of Northern Face of Kirchberg and the Battle of Dnieper. Army General Pavel Bartov wrote, Rokossovsky knew how to lead his subordinates in such a way that each officer and general willingly contributed his share of creativity to the common cause. The strong side of K.K. Rokossovsky's activity was always his intense desire to defeat the enemy at the cost of the least possible personal sacrifice. He never doubted success and victory, and the iron will was transmitted to all his comrades. In October 1943, the Central Front was renamed the First Belarusian Front, became one of the most participation in the Red Army's strategic offensive in the summer of 1944 in Belarus, Operation Bagration. During the operation of the largest German army group center was defeated, and the territory of Belarus, Eastern Poland, and part of Lithuania and Latvia were liberated. The ranks of Marshal and the first star of the hero. On June 29, 1944, Rokossovsky was awarded the title of Marshal of the Soviet Union, and on July 30, he received his first Gold Star of Heroes of the Soviet Union. Chief Marshal Aviation General Golovanov noted, "It is unlikely that one can name another commander who acted so successfully in both defensive and offensive operations of the past war, at the final stage of Great Patriotic War." On November 16, 1944, Stalin appointed Zhukov commander of the First Belarusian Front, entrusting Rokossovsky with the command of Second Belarusian Front. To the commander passed a question as to why he was being transferred from the main direction to a secondary one. Stalin replied that he was mistaken. The success of the First Belarusian Front would depend on the action of Kornev First Ukrainian Front and Second Belarusian Front. The leader emphasizes, if you and Kornev don't move forward, then Zhukov wouldn't move forward either. During East Prussian, East Pomeranian and Berlin operation of the winter and spring of 1945, Rokossovsky troops defeated German unit and then ended Great Patriotic War with honor, victory parade, and service in the Polish army. On June 24, 1945, Rokossovsky commanded the Victory Parade and Red Square in Moscow, which was hosted by Zhukov. On May 1, 1946, the military parade on the Red Square was hosted by Rokossovsky, and he was commanded by the head of the Moscow Military District, Colonel General Pavel Artemyev. From June 1945 to October 1949, Rokossovsky was the commander-in-chief of the Northern Group Force to Poland, and then at the request of the government of the Polish People's Republic, and with Moscow permission, Rokossovsky was appointed Minister of Defense of the People, PNR, with the ranks of Marshal of Poland, which was awarded to him on November 4, 1949. He was deputy chairman of the Council Minister of PNR. In 1949 to 1956, under the leadership of Rokossovsky, the modernization and rearmament of the Polish armed force was carried out. In 1956, having returned to the Soviet Union, the military leader received new position, Deputy Minister of Defense of the USSR. In October-December 1957, Rokossovsky commanded the troops of Transcaucasian Military District. Death and award. In 1958 to 1962, he was the Marshal Chief Inspector of USSR Ministries of Defense from April 1962 to August 1968. He was in group of General Inspector of the Country Minister of Defense. Rokossovsky died on August 3, 1968, in Moscow. The urn with his ash was buried in Kremlin Wall. During his years of service, Konstantin Rokossovsky was awarded two Gold Star of the Hero of the Soviet Union, the Military Leader Order of Victory, 7th Order of Lenin, 6th Order of the Red Banner, the Order of October Revolution, the Order of Suvorov, 1st degree, the Order of Kutuzov, 1st degree, as well as Foreign Order. The significance of the personality of Marshal Rokossovsky. The chief of the General Staff of the Red Army in 1942 to 1945, Marshal of the Soviet Union Alexander Vasilevsky noted, "I am happy that I had the opportunity during the Great Patriotic War to witness the military leadership talent to Konstantin Konstantinovich with his enviable calm in all cases, his ability to find wise solutions to the most difficult issue, combining enormous capacity for work, tact, courage, and bravely deep knowledge and care for his subordinate. So Rokossovsky earned his sincere love and respect of soldier and officer, being an example of a true commander."